talk a little bit about the utilization of NBME custom assessments, what that means, National Board of Medical Examiners, NBME, how they help us assess our students in comparison to their U.S. counterparts, and ultimately why they're important and why we've chosen to integrate them into our program here at WAUSM.
I get so excited about this. I think doing the NBME customized assessment service exams has been probably one of the best things that we have done, because what we are able to do is blueprint, or what that means is make examinations from step one questions. So these are actual questions that have appeared on the step one exams. And so from first semester, from your first exam, you're getting used to NBME questions and how to tackle them, how they look, how they feel, all of that. And it's so important. And so by the time you get to step one, you're like, oh, this is a piece of cake. I've been looking at these questions for 5 semesters now. And you might be scared. It might be scary, but they're not high stakes. They're not the only thing that counts towards your graded course activities. Every week we have summative quizzes and different sort of formative assessments along the way to sort of make it more manageable for students. But I can't say enough about the NBME CAS exams, because they're just they're really valid and really applicable.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a fantastic addition to the curriculum. It ensures we are teaching in line with USMLE Step 1 learning objectives, and it gives students, this wonderful opportunity to, not only see what an exam will feel like and what the exam questions are going to be like, but I hope, really build this confidence as you're going through each successive unit that, I can do this, I can be successful at this, and see that progress through, the 5 semesters.
And I should also add that the faculty actually choose the questions. So we can go in and there's like a 10,000 items or question bank. And so the faculty will go in and will choose them. So we make sure that, that those questions are questions in which content has been covered, and make sure that we can adjust difficulty. So we're not giving an exam that is like incredibly hard. So I can't say enough about it. And I don't know, you guys appreciate it? Like,
yeah, I think if for people,
you just had one so far.
I think the best way to think about it is if you're still an undergrad or finishing to graduate, imagine that every course exam was a retired MCAT question. Mm-hmm. That would prepare you so much more for the MCAT, and you wouldn't need maybe 3 to 6 months to study. I mean, you do, but in essence, you'd be studying for the 4 years that you're in undergrad. So that's what we're doing here. Every quiz and every exam that we're taking is USMLE. So it's like a mini USMLE exam, and that's only going to prepare you because it's going to train your eye to think that way, to see questions that way. So yes, that's why I also think WAUSM has a more rigorous curriculum, because they specifically designed it that way for us as students to be as successful as possible on the step exam. So we don't have to put ourselves in a position to have to retake it and spend that money and time preparing for it.
I'd just add, practice makes perfect, and what we're doing is starting off with that practice. And so like I said earlier, with some of the folks that I know at other medical schools, I shared with them like, hey, I'm like taking questions, and then they're like, you're already doing those questions already. Like, we didn't do those until like we've done it maybe once or twice, but this is a regular thing. And so just knowing that the rigor is being shown now gives us a chance to get acclimated to that rigor, and then demonstrate not just content, but the application as well. And so I enjoyed, who enjoys exams? A lot of the questions are fair because it's like, I'm pulling from content. So now it's, how do I apply the information that I've been learning in class? You're seeing the connection. You're not just learning about enzyme and then you're never going to use it again, which sometimes happens in undergrad. just to make sure it's general enough, depending on which path. But it's like, we all know that you're here to be doctors. And so we're framing these questions in a way in which allows you to use these same skills. So when you have a patient that has that same challenge, you're able to identify the symptoms and just like that, be able to do what you're trying to do, which is help others.
And as a student, I'd rather make mistakes here where they technically don't count, they count. But rather than making them on my USMLE step 1 exam and saying, I wish I had more time to prep, I wish my school prepped me better, or I wish I had more resources to pull from. So I really do appreciate that, being able to make mistakes or have the opportunity to make those mistakes in a less high risk environment than towards something that will, essentially pave the way for your residency.
I'd even take it a step further. We get a
No
chance
pun
to,
intended.
fair enough. We get a chance to practice in a way that'll go beyond just the steps in residency, but patient care. So you're being involved in curriculum and content that is applied to how do I treat my patient? How do I engage in being a practitioner of medicine? So we're not just studying for an examination. It is, how does this apply to when that patient comes in with these symptoms? How do I identify? How do I address those things? How do I apply all of the knowledge that I know to support this one cause? And I think that is the most amazing part, because you're gonna leave here thinking and thinking like and acting like physicians, because you are. And it's not just earning an MD, but you're learning the skills, the trade. It's a apprenticeship, and so to speak, that we have here at the university that I think is next to none anywhere else.
I will add one more thing. The class size, I think, is so important that we are at such a sweet spot with how many students we have, because, and I don't want to speak for professors, but I feel like they're not as overwhelmed with a million students coming to them,
Probably
and they
me,
can, or me, but they can genuinely cater their time and energy into giving you their best foot forward with the help you need for a question. They will sit down and spend 15 to an hour on one question if you really need it. So I really appreciate that, because it's almost getting free, for the lack of better terms.
Two for the price of one.
Yeah, standardized prep tutors right at your fingertips.
Yeah. There's 2 of them in the classroom as well. So just you're seeing the dialogue. So you have 2 perspectives, ensuring that the content is fully covered. So that again is just one of the exciting parts of it.